Hi, I'm Andrew Mahaney.
And I'm Franklin Lott.
And this is your RCHS News.
Here's what's in store for this episode of RCHS News.
I'm Sam Kirk, and I'll be bringing you a story on Winter Blah.
I'm Gwen Napier, and I'm bringing you the FFA Week Recap.
I'm Sydney Brill, and I'll be reporting on the backpack policy here at RCHS.
I'm Callie Hayes, reporting on the Circle Game Frenzy.
I'm Alex Stanley, and I'll be reporting on Bill Bayless's contributions to the community.
Okay, I'm Felicity Cathers, and I'm reporting about the pros and cons of riding the bus or driving yourself to school.
I'm Brianna Bangle, reporting on the Upward Bound program.
I'm Zarek Napier, and I'll be bringing you a preview of the spring sports.
I'm the meme queen, and I'm going to be bringing you Guess That Meme.
First, let's catch up with Sydney Brill for a calendar update.
I'm Sydney Brill, and this is your calendar update.
Math Field Day is March 7th.
March 9th is midterm, so if you're at risk for failing senior year like I am, you might want to check your live grades, and that is also payday for teachers.
March 13th, there will be a BOE meeting at 6 o'clock.
March 23rd is payday for teachers.
March 27th, there will be a Board of Education meeting at 6 o'clock.
March 28th, OEPA will be visiting.
March 27th through the 31st is ACT camp during lunch.
April 3rd through 7th, there will be an ACT camp after school each day, April 3rd through 7th.
April 7th, there is a 2-hour early dismissal.
On April 8th, the ACT is at RCHS. Oh, hello.
On April 10th through the 17th, the spring break.
I'm Sydney Brill, and that was your calendar update.
Thanks, Sydney. Next, let's pass it over to Sam Kirk for a Rebel Sports update.
Coming off a big win this past Thursday, the Lady Rebels will travel to the state tournament in Charleston for the first time in over a decade. Hope to see you there, coming out and supporting your Lady Rebels. We'll kick off spring sports with the boys' baseball games hosting on the 17th, 18th, and 20th of March, so come out and support the opening season for your baseball team. On March 20th, the tennis team travels to Parkersburg Catholic. On the 21st, we open with a huge game for the softball team with a home contest, and the track team also has a home meet that day, so come out and support them. On the 22nd, the boys' baseball team will travel to Parkersburg Catholic. And on the 23rd, the tennis team travels to Fairmont. The baseball team also plays on Friday the 24th, as well as the softball team who host a home game. And on the 24th, the tennis team travels to North Marion. The next day, on the 25th, the boys will travel to Oak Glen for a baseball game, the softball team will host a game, and the track team will travel to Williamstown for a big invitational. Monday the 27th is not a day for you home run junkies to stay inside. The boys' baseball team and the girls' softball team both host, so I expect to see you there. On Tuesday the 28th, the softball team travels to St. Mary's, and the track team travels to Williamstown. Also on the 28th, the tennis team travels to Parkersburg Catholic. On Wednesday the 29th, the baseball team travels to Ravenswood, and the softball team plays here at Ritchie County High School. Let's hope that our teams are on fire that week, because that Thursday, the 30th, our boys go to Gilmer to play a baseball game, and the softball team hosts another game. And as we're rolling into the month, the baseball team travels to Paden City on the 31st, as well as the softball team traveling to Chapmanville, the track team traveling to Tyler Consolidated. And that's all for your March calendar update for sports. I'm Sam Kirk for RCHS News, signing off.
This past week at RCHS, we honored longtime Chief of Ellenborough Fire Department, Bill Bayless. With Bill's recent cancer diagnosis, Officer Brian Davis thought it was an opportune time to award him with the WV Prevention Research Officer Challenge coin. We asked Officer Davis everything that Bill has done for Ritchie County.
Bill's been a long-time firefighter. I've knew Bill for all of my career, actually, 20 years. He's been a fireman and a fire chief down here at Ellenborough Fire Department.
Davis described what giving Bill the award meant to him.
It means a lot to me because I've always been one of those persons who like to honor people who are volunteers in their community, who have provided a public service to the citizens, and who does a really good job.
We caught up with Bill to see his expectations for the future of the department.
I'm hoping that there will be a few that will stay in the program and continue with bringing it on up. And
With over 50 years of service, we at RCHS News would like to thank Bill Bayless for all he has done. I'm Alex Stanley, signing off.
We'll throw it over to Zarek to
Catch us spring sports preview.
With winter sports coming to a close, the spring rotation is in full swing. We stopped in on the baseball diamond to hear Shane Davis's outlook on the upcoming year.
Probably try to be above 500, and I know we're young, but I know a bunch of these freshmen are really good. So there's going to be a lot of switching around maybe for positions, but other than that, I think we could probably bring regionals home, maybe make the states this year.
With only one senior on the roster, Coach Vinoy tells us his expectations for the underclassmen.
I expect we're going to be young. I know we're going to go through some growing pains early on in the season, but I think, we have a talented group of kids out this year, and I think by probably at least mid-season we should be coming into our own and maybe start getting a lot of W's in the games in the win column.
We then cross diamonds to hear sophomore Addie Pittman's expectations for this softball season.
This year is going to be a rebuilding year because we lost 4 seniors last year, so we have a lot of spots to fill, and it helps us out that we're in single A, so I think we're going to do okay this year.
Next, we head into RCHS's most historically dominant sport, track. Senior Sam Kirk, though, thinks that the team won't be as dominant as years past.
I expect it to be a really good year for track. Last year we didn't have any seniors, so we've got everyone coming back, and a lot of girls that have never run before are deciding to run this year. So we're going to have a pretty big team. We have a new track. We have a lot of home meets. So I'm expecting us to do better than we have, especially in the past couple of years when we've struggled. But this year's looking pretty good.
Senior Travis Pickering tells us how he takes a more relaxed tone into this track season.
We're pretty young. A lot of freshmen coming out, I hear. I'm the only, as far as I know, I'm the only senior boy, and as far as senior girls, just a couple throwers and Sam Kirk. So I mean, it's probably mostly just a learning year for the younger guys. As far as me personally, this track season, I'm not looking forward to, individual accomplishments. I'm just going to go in and have fun and just do my best to help the guys, help guys learn and stuff to become the best they can be. Because I know personally what I can do. Just go out there and have fun, mostly.
Finally, we serve it up to Mr. Knotts to find out more information on a rising sport often overlooked, tennis.
I'd love to qualify somebody for states this year. I think that would be a good goal to have. It would also be nice to see us be a little bit more consistent. We like to play to the level of our opponents. So sometimes players that are much better than what they're letting people see on the court kind of lets me down a little bit, because I'd like to see them be capable of what they show in practice.
Much like the weather, the spring sports are really heating up. From RCHS News, Zarek Napier reporting.
Thank you, Zarek. Now Gwen Napier will tell you all the fun that happened during FFA week.
The week of February 20th was FFA week here at Ritchie County High School. This is Gwen Napier showing you the highlights. Miss Knopp explains what FFA week is.
FFA week is just a time for FFA members to try and celebrate, being FFA members and being good advocates for this youth agricultural organization.
She also informs us about what will be going on throughout the week.
We've had some games, some competitions during lunch. We've been raising money through that Kiss the Pig contest, where we're going to have a teacher, whoever earns the most money, to kiss a pig.
Winner of the plunge race, Zach Klein, states that trying his hardest was his strategy for winning the race.
I just tried my hardest, and that's how I won.
Rachel Farley, who came in second place for Fill Up the Cup, shows good sportsmanship.
Well, I won my first round, I guess, and then the guns kind of crapped themselves the last time in the final, so we had to go inside, so we just kind of gave up and Madeline won. Oh well, at least I got second.
Noelle Jones, female winner of the hay bale toss, says that activities during FFA week make lunch more interactive for the students.
It's better than just going to the cafeteria during the regular weeks and just sitting there doing nothing.
Mr. Hott explains what it was like to kiss a pig.
The pig wasn't very cooperative. It did not pucker up when I needed it to.
As you see, FFA Week is a good benefit for FFA members and is fun for the students who want to get involved with the activities. All donations go to Packs a Plenty. So remember, if you want to help your community, there are fun ways to do it. This is Gwen Napier reporting for RCHS News.
Wow. Franklin, I would only kiss a pig if it flew. Now, Felicity will tell us whether driving or riding to school is preferred.
I'll drive you through the pros and cons of riding the bus or driving yourself to school. Noel Jones tells us the pros and cons of having to ride the bus.
Are, well, people and their spitters. People are loud, and it's really hot and stuffy on my bus.
I have sophomore Sam Summers and junior Zach Utter telling us the pros and cons of driving to school.
Pros are you have a lot of freedom. It makes things a lot easier for you, you know. The cons are you get out of there after the buses all the time. That takes forever, and it's just a pain.
You don't have to get up as early to catch a bus. You get out of here a little bit later, which would be a con, I guess.
We have Officer Davis give you an insight on his thoughts about pros and cons of riding the bus or driving yourself.
I would see it as being cheaper to ride the school bus. It's much safer to ride the school bus. Accidents on school buses are very, very rare. I can't remember an actual accident with a school bus within the last 3 or 4 years.
A person's point of view depends on whether they want to ride the bus or drive themselves to school. I'm Felicity Cathers, signing off.
Thanks. Now we will head over to Sydney Brill, who has a report on the backpack trend.
Book bags are a common sight at RCHS, but many students may not be aware of the rules surrounding them. In the Ritchie County High School Handbook, page 8 states that book bags may be carried to and from school, but they must be put in a locker. Drawstring bags and purses can be carried if they fit under the desk. Mr. Lawrence clarifies the book bag policy.
They should be stored in lockers. Run into an issue in the springtime, you know, baseball bats, tennis rackets. Those should be stored in the locker room. Just the hallways get kind of crowded and packed. You don't want to hit somebody by accident with one of those things. Also, backpacks in the classroom is a safety concern. You don't know what could be in there, this, that, and the other. So the policy is known classrooms need to be in the lockers or the locker room.
Mrs. Kirk talks about her experience of book bags in her classroom and others.
In my room, it's not really an issue because I don't have too many that bring backpacks in, and my classroom's smaller, so there's not a lot of problem with it. But in some of the other ones, we have had some issues with people tripping over them, and so I think most of the teachers enforce that they do not want those large backpacks in their room.
Students Mariah Murphy and Tyler Lehman explain how the rule isn't enforced at the school.
I do not think the backpack policy is enforced. There's maybe 1 or 2 teachers that really enforce it, but other than that, most teachers don't care because they don't really create a problem. And it makes the students' lives a lot easier being able to carry their backpack because then they don't have to worry about dropping their books.
Yeah, I forgot the backpack policy was even a thing, to be honest.
Senior Rika Wright tells us the importance of book bags.
I don't think it's enforced, nor do I think it should be enforced because I have a lot of important things in here.
The book bag policy may not be enforced, but it doesn't seem to be a concern to teachers and students. I'm Sydney Brill reporting for RCHS News, signing off.
Thanks for that report. What are your ideas on about carrying backpacks during school?
Well, Franklin, I think that it adds more convenience to the students and stuff and makes them more productive. Let's take our backpacks to Upward Bound, where Brianna Bingle will bring you the story.
Upward Bound is a program offered to high school students in grades 10 through 12. It offers support to participating students as they prepare for college entrance. Greg Durr describes his role as Upward Bound in school contact.
I work as the Ritchie County High School Upward Bound in-school contact. I help facilitate and get the records for the members of Upward Bound.
Destiny Kell describes what doors Upward Bound has opened for her.
Upward Bound has influenced me because it helps me to narrow down my choices for future education, like colleges I want to go to and scholarships that are available for me.
Upward Bound counselor Nancy Kane describes what Upward Bound is and what she does.
Upward Bound is a college preparatory program. We work with high school students and we encourage them throughout their time in high school to keep their grades up. We try to help them understand the world of post-secondary education. So we kind of offer incentives for participation. Our students get a stipend check for attending an after-school session and then also a Saturday session. And then we also pay our students for their grades. As long as they make a C or better, then they earn their grade money also.
As you can see from this report, Upward Bound is a very beneficial program. To apply, contact Mr. Durr or an Upward Bound student. This is Brianna Bengal with RCHS News.
Thanks, Brianna.
All these stories are making me tired. Speaking of tired, let's go to Sam Kirk for a story on winter blah.
Is the weather getting you down? Do you often consider staying home from school? Are you especially tired and ready for summer? Then you may be experiencing the newest epidemic taking over Ritchie County High School, known as winter blah. Mr. Knotts explains what's causing the outbreak.
We always struggle at the end of January through February and the beginning of March because we usually don't have spring break yet. So the students are starting to get antsy because they want someplace to go, they want something to do, but it's just so cold outside, so snowy outside, so awful outside that they're trapped indoors. So it almost feels like a really bad case of cabin fever.
He then gave us some advice for overcoming the awful symptoms.
Go to the beach. Take a vacation.
Katie Bailey, who experiences winter blah, explains it and the effects it has on her.
Winter blah is blah. Like, I don't want to come to school, I don't want to wake up, I don't want to get dressed, hence what I'm wearing right now.
She also tells us how she copes with the dreary season and her even drearier mood.
Well, I take a lot of naps. That's pretty much it. There's not much I can do about it.
Chase Sullivan gives us his ideas on why the outbreak is happening.
Well, we've had no snow days and I'm tired of school, and I have senioritis and I'm a junior.
Chase then showed us his main symptom from which he suffers.
I dress inappropriate. Non-professional.
Nathan Jones, however, is skeptical about the existence of such a plague.
It doesn't exist. I mean, I do everything anyways, so I don't think it's a thing.
Regardless of the authenticity of winter blah, if you are experiencing symptoms, the weather is getting warmer, and spring break is just around the corner. I'm Sam Kirk, reporting for RCHS News.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, look at this.
Oh, darn, Franklin. Well, let's go to Callie Hayes to see how many people are falling for the circle game.
Gotcha.
What is the circle game frenzy that has taken over Ritchie County High School? I'm Callie Hayes, here to get the insight. For years, students around the school have been tricked and ridiculed by this game. The object is when the offensive player creates an A-OK sign with their fingers below their waist. But it is not okay. The goal is to get people to look. We caught up with junior Chase Sullivan to see his thoughts on this horrible trickery. Chase tells us how this game has negatively affected his life.
I am addicted.
Sullivan goes on to say that his own mother is the reason he started his addiction.
Chris Sullivan, my mother, she got me started on it.
I asked Sullivan how many times he has looked at it.
At least 2 million times.
Chase tells us how he has been personally victimized by the circle.
Yes, multiple times. Sarah Coakley is my nemesis, and she makes me cry every night.
Then we caught up with senior Sarah Coakley to see what she has to say about the game. Sarah, who is Chase's enemy, tells us how many times she has looked.
None.
Sarah tells us who taunts her with the game.
Yeah. Chase Sullivan.
History teacher Charles Brian Darty was unaware of the circle game.
What game?
The circle game.
What's the circle game? Oh, you mean this?
Mr. Darty tells us how many times he has looked.
Not as many times as Callie Hayes has.
As you can see, the circle game has taken over the school. The students have been very creative in their ways to attempt to get others to look. I'm Callie Hayes from RCHS News, signing off.
I don't always do this, but when I do, people look.
Thanks for that, Callie. Finally, let's hand it over to the Meme Queen for a Guess That Meme special.
Hello everybody, I'm the Meme Queen, and on today's episode, we're going to be playing a little game. It's called Guess That Meme. The rules are simple. If you guess correctly, you win the satisfaction of knowing that you succeeded in life at something. But if you don't, There's no hard feelings. Let's get started. And that is all for this episode. Tune in next time to see what we're going to do. Bye-bye.
This has been your RCHS News. I'm Andrew Mahaney.
And I'm Franklin Lott.
Signing off.